Welcome to momedaram. In this video, we will see the differences between arrays and collections. Arrays are fixed in size. That means once we create an array, we cannot able to increase or decrease the size of an array. For example, if we created an array of size 5 and if you are trying to add a sixth element, it will give array index of the bounds exception. That means we cannot able to increase the size of an array. Collections are growable in nature. That means once the collection object is created with the default size and the elements are filled with that size, and if you try to add the next element, the collection object will be increased with a different size. So collection objects are growable in nature. Memory point of view, arrays are not recommended to use. That means if you created array size with 1000 and you have inserted only 100 elements, remaining 900 memory locations will be wasted. So memory point of view, arrays are not recommended to use. But memory point of view, collections are highly recommended to use. Performance point of view, arrays are recommended to use. That means once we created array with a size 100 or something, only it will allow that many elements, so we can able to insert and we can able to read happily. But performance wise, collections are not recommended to use. Consider a scenario. We have a array list and it is having size 10. So we have added elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have an array list of size 10 and we have added 10 elements. And if you ask to add 11th element, that time a big array will be created and each element of the existing array will be shifted to the new array object. At the end, the next whatever the newly added element, the 11th element will be added, and whatever this array list object which is pointing to the existing object, it will be not point to that, it will point to the newly created object, and this existing object will be eligible for garbage collection. So if you see here, we have an array list object and we have 10 elements. So when we are trying to add 11th element, new big array list object created and the elements are shifted. At the end, new element are added. Consider a scenario. If you have 100 elements, that time when you try to add 101th element, that time another array list object will be created and this all 100 elements will be shifted to that array list object, newly created array list object, and the next element will be added in the next position. So if we have lot of elements like 1000 elements or 1 lakh elements, that time the performance, every time this array list will create a new object, data will be shifted. So performance wise, collections are not recommended. Arrays means once array object is created, we can able to insert and we can able to read the data happily. There is no new object will be created in the case of arrays. So performance point of view, arrays are recommended to use. Performance point of view, collections are not recommended to use. Arrays can hold homogeneous data type elements only. That means arrays will allow only one type of data to hold. It will not allow different type of data. But collections we can hold both homogeneous and heterogeneous type of elements. That means it can accept any type of element. There is no underlying data structure for arrays. Hence, there is no ready-made method support. That means there is no inbuilt methods to support or to process the array elements. So, if you want to process the array elements, the developer or the programmer has to write the code to process the data. But when it comes to collections, every collection class is implemented with some standard data structures. So ready-made methods support is there. That means inbuilt methods are there to process the collections data. Arrays can hold both primitive and object types, but collections can hold only objects. It cannot accept primitive types. These are all the main differences between arrays and collections in Java. Hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.